Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Star Citizen is a massive project with a huge amount of funding behind it. A common question I used to see about Star Citizen was, where has the money gone? Is Star Citizen financially healthy? Has the money all dried up? They're going to be closing in 90 days tops, is that correct? This was at least until they started releasing their financials, and it's that time again. We've had the accounts and a more tailored financial statement from Cloud Imperium for 2019. They are basically a year in arrears with these sort of financial statements that they push out in great detail. However, we do have quite a good amount of information for 2020, so we'll be able to talk about how much money the game's made, what's it doing with that money, where's it gone, all that sort of jazz. So listen, watch, enjoy. What do we know about 2019? Well, at least until 2020, 2019 was a record-breaking year for income and various other things for Cloud Imperium. In fact, spending and all that sort of jazz as well. So Cloud Imperium have been talking about investing for the future, and they describe it as nuts and bolts infrastructure of the business to accommodate planned growth and a step up in the community and marketing operations, particularly in the UK, with a very successful CitizenCon being held during 2019. So they're building this infrastructure, they're getting stuff prepared, they're getting offices in order, they're employing more people and training them. So the 2019 year saw $47.6 million in pledges. That's up 26% from 2018. So that's $37.8 million the year before. Just as a note, pledges are basically converted into dollars here for the sake of their accounts, and it is also the net receipts of back purchases of ships, game packages, and merch. But there are a few other minor things that are associated with that aren't included, like postage fees collected. So that's not listed there. There was $3.6 million in 2019 from subscriptions. That's up 12% from 3.2 million in 2018. This figure has again been adjusted to represent all voluntary subscriptions to Cloud Imperium and into dollars. Also, we have other income of $9.5 million in 2019. That's up 20% from 7.9 million. This represents partnership income with various hardware and software vendors, sponsorship incomes, and various local incentives based on the nature and location of development and production activities. So in total, this is 60.7 million, 24% up from the total in 2018 of 48.9 million. So a big increase, a huge increase in actual income that year. Separate to that, at the end of the year, there was an additional $17.25 million private investment, adding to the $46 million investment that they had previously received from the Calder brothers. But it's the costs that are very interesting here. The total costs for 2019 were around $70.4 million. So they spent a little over $10 million more than they made income-wise if you discount the private investment anyway, and you probably should. And this is up from 56.2 million in 2018. That is around a 25% increase in costs. So why is this? Why are they spending $10 million more than they actually earned? So this is for various reasons. The employee headcount was up to 604 at the end of 2019 from 512 from the previous one. That's where the lion's share of development costs are going. They're 39.7 million in 2018, up from 33.8 million in 2018. And that increase isn't just for the additional 83 employees, but also it's pay rises, and Cloud Imperium have been investing into marketing teams and training and infrastructure. In 2019, publishing and marketing costs are up to 11.4 million. Contracted dev costs are up to 5.7 million, although they should be dropping down even more significantly in 2020. General and admin are up to 2.3 million, capital expenditure and investments 2.4 million, and other dev costs 8.9 million. So a raise across the board on all of those costs. So we know that the deficit over 2018 and 2019 was around 17 million. That's quite a lot of money to be overspending over those couple of years. So that's certainly going to have eaten up some of that private investment for sure. Income excluding investment on the game throughout the project up to 2019, according to Cloud Imperium's figures, is around 317.3 million. but total costs up to 2019 are only 320.1 million. So excluding investment again, that's actually just a little under 3 million in deficit overall. So they've still spent more than they made. And is this good or bad? It's surely bad, isn't it? Well, it's just a figure, and Cloud Imperium have at least $60.2 million of investment money left, plus any buffer that the company has as well. So I don't think there's anything to worry about in regards to the short-term financial health of the company, as even if Cloud Imperium overspend by 10 million a year going forward, they'd still be able to operate for another 6 years, by which time I would have hoped they would have released Squadron 42, and even Star Citizen would be at least in beta at that stage. I mean, please be in beta, at least beta at that stage. But obviously, long-term financial health of the company, well, no investor wants them spending 10 million more a year than they're actually making. So this is a good segue. What do we know about 2020 then? We don't really know how much they've spent. They could have curbed it significantly though due to the coronavirus. In fact, I suspect that's very much true. They didn't have CitizenCon, they're not working from the offices. I would expect costs to be significantly down, but we'll have to wait and see. What we do know is that the funding during 2020 was record-breaking by significant margins. We have figures for the pledge amounts during 2020 of around 79 million. That's a 30% increase from the total income in 2019, and around 66% just on the pledges from 2019. That's extraordinary, and the total income will be a lot more when we factor in subscriptions and other income. I'd be willing to bet that Cloud Imperium made a good surplus of monies in 2020 of around 10 to 15 million potentially, even if they've invested in more staff, infrastructure and the like. In fact, we know that Cloud Imperium did exactly at least one of those things with a new turbulent-headed studio in Montreal that they've built that is going to be focusing on star systems and planets for Star Citizen, and plans to be at 100 plus employees over the next 3 years. But yeah, a new studio to work on gameplay area. Star Citizen has had a massive amount of funding and spent at least 320 million of that so far, plus whatever else in 2020. This could potentially put at over $400 million spent on Star Citizen and Squadron 42 to date. And yes, this is the most expensive video game development of all time, cost-wise, before the game's released. But it is kind of for 2 games, so that's interesting. It's great that the money is actually being spent on those 2 games, Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, development costs and whatever forms of marketing Cloud Imperium are doing, rather than being paid out as dividends to shareholders. Making shareholders wealthy at this stage would be, I think, pretty upsetting. There will come a time that the investors and shareholders, like the Calders, like Chris and Erin even, are going to want to make a return on their investment and drawing out money from the company beyond wages with dividends, the profits of the company. But that can't happen, as far as I'm aware, until at least the company is making profit. You literally can't draw dividends, at least, and that's as far as I'm aware in the UK. And hopefully that wouldn't happen at least until they have released proper products like Squadron 42. At the moment, people are chucking their money into Star Citizen to help with the development, not to help enrich people. It's something I will be keeping track of for sure. I don't think any Star Citizen backer wants to be paying into the pockets of any shareholders in that way until we have at least released games. That money should go to development, and that's what appears to be happening, which is good. Another thing is that we don't actually know what Chris's and the executive wages are. He did say that he was paid basically what any person that would be doing his job would be being paid, but that doesn't really mean anything. I wouldn't expect him to be taking too much, but it would probably be quite a lot. There are arguments to be made for slow development cycles and inefficiency, as well as Cloud Imperium could be trying to keep the game perpetually in development, though I think that's a bit of a weak argument because it doesn't make much sense to do that. But the truth is that they are making progress and developing a game. It is slow, though. It is slow and potentially inefficient, and you might disagree with the way they're monetizing it and that sort of stuff, but it's certainly not a scam. However, the project and the game is not for everyone, and I do think Cloud Imperium are going to have to release Squadron 42 before they get any form of mainstream recognition, and that game needs to be good. Really, it needs to be great. And if it's a bad game, then that's not a great sign for Star Citizen. However, only time will tell, and I do think we'll does see Squadron 42 being in their 90 to 95% range of rating on review. That's my gut feeling, hopefully. Obviously, I have yet to play it, but they've got all the tools, the money, and the time to make that a reality. But what do you think, Cloud Imperium? Are they financially healthy? Do you like them sharing their finances like this, or is it too sort of like tailored and doesn't really mean anything? Do you think we could see a $1 billion development when Star Citizen is finally released? Do you think they would actually have spent $1 billion on the game? Or is that madness? How should we quantify the costs of Squadron 42's development when compared to Star Citizen? Is it essentially the same game? And it's just like, the Squadron 42, Star Citizen, really the same thing? But whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. It's January, and to start the new year, I am giving away 5 ships with game packages to 5 lucky commenters on my videos. So we've got the 100i, the 125a, the 135c, the Talon, and the Shrike, all up for grabs with, as I said, game packages and lifetime insurance. Just comment on any of my videos made during January to be in for a chance of winning those. Hey you! Do you not like having all your data stolen? How about your browser history? Do you want some random dude on the internet to know all of that? 1 second, I'm just watching some dank memes, as if I'm from America. But I'm from the UK. What am I using to do that? Well, it's NordVPN. It might save your life, though I can't think of any scenario right now that it would. Links below for a discount. Not only do I shill for Nord, but I also shill for Shadow Cloud Gaming, basically an internet-based alternative to having a gaming PC. It's a monthly subscription, very affordable, and they've got a load of cool hardware options coming in the very near future. It's available in a large portion of the world, so check that out. Again, links below for discount. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you in the verse. Say goodbye to everyone, Zin.
Goodbye to everyone.